say the guy's name because he's pretty famous, and to be fair, he was never charged with a crime. But we had these two rappers in Atlanta in the early 2000s, and they were beefing with each other, trading diss tracks, the whole thing. Then rapper number one, the famous one, orders his goons to go beat up rapper number two and steal this gaudy gold and diamond necklace he wore in all of his videos, and that's where it got interesting. The goon squad shows up at rapper number two's place. He pulls a gun and starts shooting. One of the attackers gets hit, makes it about 200 yards away from the house before he drops dead. Rapper number two is arrested for murder, but is dismissed as self-defense. And the real criminal here is rapper number one, who ordered the violent act that got his man killed. I had the phone records of two witnesses prepared to testify for what would have been a rock-solid RICO murder case. But for reasons that were never explained to me, the U.S. Attorney's Office declined prosecution, and rapper number one went on to have a phenomenally successful career. Oh well, win some, lose some.
Now, we got young Jeezy in the algorithm right now, right? A former FBI agent. He take to the internet. I don't know when it came out, but clips get resurfaced. Shout out to Flacco. You know, he put it out there first. Then I seen Seti Nash. Shout out to Seti Nash. He spoke on it, right? But a FBI agent, former FBI agent, you know, he speak on Jeezy and Gucci. And he say, you know, he can run down the story that we all know. You know, Jeezy was this big rapper, Gucci up and coming. They were beefing. Jeezy put a little bag on Gucci head, meaning not to take his life, but to take the chain. Saying Pookie Loc and them to go do that there. Mission failed. FBI agent saying, yeah, they locked up Gucci, thinking he was the criminal, but the whole time it was Jeezy, right? And they were saying Gucci beat the case, and the real criminal was Jeezy, and it had a rock solid RICO case, had two witnesses ready, and they was gonna lock up Jeezy for the Pookie Loc joint, just like they did Lucci, right? For his homeboy getting deleted. But the prosecutors, the court didn't want to pursue with the charges. And this is where they saying Jeezy cooperated on the BMF joint, on Big Meech and them. So the information that he gave, which it ain't in nobody's paperwork, right? But the information that he gave on Big Meech or BMF or both, it was good enough for them not to pursue the charges on the Gucci Man situation. That's what it seemed like the FBI agent, that's the picture he painted, right? But guess what I say though? I say, how did the police even get the idea that Jeezy put the bag on Gucci Man and think he set the whole thing up, right? Because the FBI agent ain't saying them Crip members, Pookie Loc, he gone. But the FBI agent ain't saying them Crips said Jeezy was the one who put us on this hit right here and told us to go do this. They ain't saying that. Who was the one saying Jeezy sent niggas to kill me? It was Gucci Man. Gucci Man was the one on Rap City, on BET, doing a whole bunch of interviews on diss songs and everything, saying Jeezy sent goons to take his life. Gucci was the one who was dry snitching first.
So that situation that we were just talking about with the charges and so forth, do you feel like it was a setup because cats came like after you, like they was coming to get you?
Yeah, I think it was a setup.
Okay. Do you have any indications on who it might be? Have you heard anything on the streets? Just whatever you feel in your own heart?
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, ain't too many people got the motive to do some shit like that. I just like a detective, learn, you know what I'm saying, look at the motive, who has motive to do it, and the only nigga has motive.
Jeezy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Straight up.
So it's real serious then when we talking about like actually trying to like set somebody to take someone's lives. It's on a whole nother level. It's past just the wax.
It's like I guess it's scared of competition.
So we gonna put that jacket on Jeezy. It got to go on Gucci too. Gucci did some dry snitching. He was going on television saying Jeezy sent dudes to come take my life. It was Jeezy that put the bag up, and them lines of words right there. He didn't sugarcoat it. He did not say his name. He said his name. Jeezy did it. Now, if Gucci did that today in 2025, everybody would be calling Gucci a rat. But everybody gave Gucci a pass for doing that. Jeezy even said back then that Gucci was a rat. He considered it as a rat. Just like how Jay-Z and Nas called Cameron a rat for saying on that song he did Jay-Z on with Max B on the hook. I forgot what it's called. You gotta love it. You gotta never get in the paper. You know that Cameron song. You ain't the only one with big wallets. Got it, my product, but your publishing should go to Miss Wallace. Honest, still in big. He made 2 albums. You violent, and he can't dress dog. Whose style is? It was Rockaware when Dame had it. Now you got it. Call it Cockaware. Got it on night in here. But in the beginning of that song right there, he was like, I seen them throw up that rock before them shots got let off. Jay-Z and Nas did an interview and they called Cameron a snitch. So the streets didn't give Gucci that same energy when Gucci did it. But Jeezy did though. Jeezy did.
You know, I just really don't like this nigga throwing my name and all this shit to sell records. That's a whole move. Any nigga from any hood know if you get in any type of trouble and a nigga throw your name in that shit, he's a snitch ass nigga. That's what he is, a bitch ass, snitch ass nigga, dog. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to get a nigga no light, dog. Real talk.
So I feel like Gucci was the one who let the feds know or the state know that it was Jeezy who set the whole play up. Because he was the only one that was screaming it. So if we gonna say Jeezy told, we gotta say Gucci told too. Because Gucci was the one. Jeezy didn't never come on no records saying he sent dudes to do that to Gucci. Jeezy ain't never stepped that. Gucci was the one doing it. Because that was his claim to fame. When Jeezy really set off Gucci's career. Like how everybody say Gucci, you know, did this for this artist and that artist. But Jeezy sending Pookie Loc turned Gucci Mane all the way up. If it wasn't for Jeezy sending Pookie Loc and them and sending them to get that chain, Gucci never would have been as big as he was because we would have kept with Jeezy. But once Gucci proved that he more gangster than Jeezy by doing that, yeah. So Gucci really need to thank Jeezy because before that, we always put Jeezy over Gucci. Gucci did make me flip on Jeezy. I didn't like Jeezy because of Gucci Mane. But at first, I liked the Jeezy. You understand? Like, because he out-gangstered him. He out-gangstered him. And then the internet went big, so you couldn't really hear both sides. You couldn't hear both sides of the story. All we can see is he caught the body, Jeezy ain't retaliate. So to a lot of street guys, Gucci raps was more believable. You trapping and having keys and all that, they ain't good enough. Because he's saying he got them keys too, but he also slinging that iron. So they put him over you. Don't matter if you got a kingpin, you was a kingpin, and you got a bigger kingpin on top of you that's supplying you or stamping you. That don't matter. When it comes to stepping, you ain't doing that. We know he caught the body, got charged for it, beat it. So they put him over you. And he putting out more music than you. And the beat's better. The beat's better. So, yeah. But like I say, do I feel like Jeezy told on Big Meech? Or do I feel like he 100% innocent? No, I don't feel like he 100% innocent. You know, you got Blue Da Vinci saying Jeezy did tell. Jeezy did do some cooperation, right?
Is Jeezy in the paperwork?
Hell yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is public information. You can look up right now on your phone. Man testifies about Jeezy's cocaine selling. Type in your phone something like that. You're gonna see one of the who name it lights. Ralph Sims, the same that told about the limo that tried to say I told. Ralph Sims, Ralphie. Told on Jeezy, told everything Jeezy ever did. Jeezy had like 12. Jeezy had more statements on him than me.
Were you allowed to hand out bricks? No. Do you remember in those 1 or 2 times where J-Bo or Tito or someone told you to hand bricks to someone, who those people were? Yes. Who? One of them was Doc or B.I. Doc, did you say who the other one was, or you do not remember? Yes, Jeezy. Jeezy? Yes. We've heard some in this trial about a possible musician named Young Jeezy. Are you referring to the same person? Yes.
But no, he didn't get indicted because he did some other shit. I feel like that. I know some things he did, like he turned Meech cars into the feds. That same Porsche truck and that Ferrari I was talking about a while before he came to Miami and doing some lie detector tests about this gun case he caught one year in 06 when I went to go meet him. We had a shootout, not against him, but some other, like when me and him start trying to talk, some other popped it off with us and we ended up having a shootout and he ended up going to jail for a gun. If anybody is familiar with that Miami case, him and Twin came back to do a polygraph test supposed to be for that shit. And the security said that the Meech cars pulled up on flatbeds, nigga, into the federal building when he went and did it, when he was inside for his meeting or whatever. So I know he turned in the cars. Ain't no telling what people be doing, bro. That's all I know he did. And then he told about House, the gun case that was already thrown out at the state level, and then the feds picked it back up. So everybody look up Big House. You look up Big House. He was a security for Jay-Z. He was a security for Big Meech. He was also security for Young Jeezy. Yeah, Jeezy put the people on his ass, and he'll let you know. You look him up, he talking his story, and you know, you got all these people with these accounts of these people that's out here. Sorry, y'all, I just be the bearer of bad news because 10 years go by and people act like they ain't never heard nothing, don't know nothing. Like, hold on, the selective politics shit gotta stop.
But when it comes to Blue Da Vinci and Jeezy, Blue Da Vinci always gonna throw Jeezy up under the bus because Blue Da Vinci know one of the main reasons why he couldn't take off was because of Jeezy. And Blue Da Vinci know he never wanted Jeezy to sign with BMF because he know if Jeezy would have signed with BMF, Big Meech never would have poured the money into Blue Da Vinci career because Blue Da Vinci wasn't a good rapper. Blue Da Vinci didn't like that the only song that could possibly take off, Jeezy had to get on it. Blue Da Vinci, one of the rappers that Big Meech was going to have to buy his way into the game. But he wasn't going to be able to stand on his own. The only way a Blue Da Vinci album would have took off or did any type of noise, it would have had to be a DJ Khaled type album. Meaning, like Young Thug's new album that's trash, that only sold 50-something thousand, and it should have sold 20 to 30,000. Every song going to have top tier artists on it. He may have, if it's 15 cuts on the song, on the album, 2 of the songs could be solo. The rest of them need to have features on them. So yeah, Streets on Lock, Fabulous, one verse, Blue Da Vinci, one verse, Jeezy, another verse, and then on the hook, it don't need to be Blue Da Vinci. You could say a little piece, but it need to have Fabulous, Jeezy, and them on the hook too. You just punch in with a verse. That's it. Let the rapper that you paying to get on the song, let them be on the hook and do a verse. Because Blue Da Vinci ain't had a voice. He just had the money and the real street cred behind it. The money, the look, that's it. But he didn't have the sound. He didn't have the image where other people want to be like him. Kids want to be like him. Girls want to be with him. He didn't have that. He didn't have no good ad-libs. You see what I'm saying? So Big Meech knew Jeezy was the one. That's why he would have gave Jeezy anything he wanted. What you want? 5 million, 2 million. He would have gave him that. And Blue Da Vinci know if Jeezy would have came to BMF, he never would have had a shot. Maybe did a song or two, but no. Meech would have never poured all that money into Blue Da Vinci if Jeezy was going to be on board. He wouldn't have done it. Blue Da Vinci know that Meech liked it Jeezy way more than him. Meech just couldn't find. He probably could have had top tier artists, but he just stayed stuck on Jeezy when he should have been reaching out to other artists. See, even if they never would have got indicted and they would have moved forward with the rap shit, Blue Da Vinci would have easily got pushed back and put on the shelf once Big Meech realized that he got to sign other acts that's already winning. So he would have grabbed other artists. Either Meech would have grabbed artists that already got a fan base. Maybe they leaving this label, that label, and they already doing numbers. They already had hit records. Or Meech, as BMF, the label, would have became a label like Koch Records. They got a lot of funding, so you could be a lender. They got a lot of funding, so why not be like a Koch? So say like how when Mobb Deep was with G Unit, 50 still let Prodigy do a Koch deal. Like on a solo, like Prodigy solo, like Mobb Deep as the group, G Unit, Prodigy solo, go over there with Koch. You understand? Let them do that little deal on the side. Let them get that little money. So yeah, you'll go get that little money with BMF. You maybe sign a Def Jam, or you maybe sign a CMG. You may do a little album deal with BMF though. You understand? He would have did it like that. So Blue Da Vinci still wouldn't have. Meech would have figured it out. Like he would have lost with that. Probably lost with another artist, then figured it out. Okay, I gotta get him. But Blue Da Vinci always gonna throw shots at Jeezy or make him look less of a gangster, less of a man, because he would have been jealous. He jealous of Jeezy. Everything Blue Da Vinci wanted to be, Jeezy was that. So why wouldn't he say, yeah, Jeezy cooperated, yeah, Jeezy? Why wouldn't he always diss Jeezy? Why Meech ain't dissing Jeezy? Why when 50 was beefing with Jeezy, if it was already out there that Jeezy told, ain't no way 50 wouldn't have got that information and exposed that like he did Meech. Like he did Meech. Ain't no way Gucci wouldn't have said that about Jeezy. There's been a lot of people beefing with Jeezy. Now, is Jeezy a real nigga? As far as like the rapper Young Jeezy? No. Because the reason why I say that is because I never seen where everybody that ever dealt with Jeezy talk bad about him. You can't, when everybody say the same thing about you, ain't no way it ain't true. Now, is Jeezy a good father? Probably so, yeah. Could Jeezy be a good man to a woman? Probably so, yeah. But the Young Jeezy, the rapper, especially back then, I don't think he was a real nigga because everybody, I'm talking about from his security guards to his friends, to his people that he grew up with, people that he hustled with, to other artists in the industry, they all said Jeezy ain't no real guy. From his steppers, everybody. Man, ain't no way everybody gonna say something bad about you. Don't nobody say nothing good about Jeezy. So I don't think Jeezy is 100% real nigga when it came to back then. I don't know about now. But, you know, the snitching campaign on Jeezy right now ain't gonna work because Jeezy on a whole nother level right now. Y'all should have been pushing that in 05, 06, 07. It would have, fit a little bit better. It could have stuck a little bit better. You doing it now, it's kind of like that cheap school glue. You know that cheap school glue that they give you, and it'll work for a day or two, then it'll fall off. You got to put more on it. It ain't no super glue. You got to cover a little bit more information. The FBI agent drop that paperwork or really come with some, have Meech and them say, yeah, he did say this and that. Then now it's a problem. Now, Big Meech can get in the headlines right now if he was to, put that smut on Jeezy's name. If he stamped Jeezy and he didn't do it, it'll get reposted. We'll do video on it, but it'll go away. But if he really go against Jeezy and throw Jeezy under the bus, Big Meech should get right back in the algorithm. You understand? But Meech ain't never came like that when it came to Jeezy. Only Blue Da Vinci, and then the officer said he don't know how. The officer ain't say he did say something in the comment section that said it's a good point that a fan said, like Jeezy told on BMF and them in the feds. He didn't deny. He said that's a good point. Some shit like that he said in them lines right there. But he never said Jeezy told. He said he don't know how the prosecutors didn't want to pursue with the charges. You understand? You know, he did turn some cars in, Porsche. Hell yeah, turn it in. If they BMF cars, why wouldn't you want to detach your name from this brand? Ain't no need to go down with this brand. Now, Jeezy got Def Jam, Bad Boy. He got, you know, people in the industry in his ear like, you need to go ahead and detach yourself from this brand. So if you know you finna make all this money in the rap game, plus you already got a bag, yeah, give him all this shit. Don't keep nothing that BMF gave you. Detach yourself. But you want to go down, you ain't the captain on the boat, so you ain't got to go down with Titanic. You ain't got to go down with Titanic. You better get on the boats that say women and children. Yeah, you better get on the boat. Yeah, you better get on the boat. Ain't no need to go down with Titanic. Ain't no need to go down with that boat Titanic, and there ain't no need to die in the water like Jack did for Rose. Yeah, just because they throw you a little floating boat thing, and you just can be on top of the water, but the water freezing cold. Ain't no need to go out like Jack did. Nah, you gotta get on that boat with the women and children, and that's what Jeezy did. Thanks to Bad Boy Records, thanks to Def Jam Records. So yeah, man, that's my take on that. I feel like if we're gonna call Jeezy a rat, we gotta call Gucci one too, because Gucci was the one who kept saying, Jeezy put a bag on my head, Jeezy sent them dudes to do this, Jeezy that. Yeah. Like I say, if Gucci was to do something like that today, everybody would call him a rat. Jeezy was calling him that back then. So how else did we find out that Jeezy sent them people on Gucci? How else? I know, hey Jeezy, I know it been plenty of times that you know, probably was thinking when you was more on your evil side, like I should have just dropped the bag and say, crush Gucci. If I would have, see, you got to think, if Jeezy would have sent them dudes in there to delete Gucci and don't take nothing, then Gucci probably wouldn't be here no more. Because if the dudes came in the house and they got to hit Gucci across the head with the blick or whatever, because it ain't like when they kicked the door in, he just started blowing. Gucci could have lost his life in that situation right there. It wasn't a hit to knock him down. It was a hit to take the chain. That's why they ran up on him and hit him and all that there. But if the mission would have been, hey, as soon as I kick the door in, or wait outside till he come outside, blow him down, and blow whoever else down. If the girl, blow it, yeah, Gucci wouldn't be here no more. Because it ain't like Gucci stood over Pookie Loke and just, looked him in the eye, gave him 5, 2 to the head, 3 to the chest. He ain't do that. It was more like turning his back, you know what I'm saying, just blinking, trying to get them niggas to get out the house. And he looked up, hit one of them, and they ran. If Pookie Loke would have stayed still, maybe just laid outside, stayed still, he probably would have, lived, but the bullets started traveling as he kept running. But it's hard to stay still right there when somebody blowing, because they'll keep blowing. So, your mind going to tell you, catch shelter. But yeah, man, like, if Jeezy really wanted Gucci on a shirt, he could have got it done. And, Gucci wouldn't have lived to tell the story. And maybe, I don't know if Jeezy would have got locked up for that. Because I don't know if they would have got caught. You would have had to crush the girl. You would have had to do all that there. But I guess Jeezy ain't really want that on his name. He didn't want that type of heat. He didn't want that. If you would have had more of an evil boss, if Pookie Loke would have had a boss like Boosie, Gucci wouldn't be here no more. If Gucci would have been beefing with a dude like Boosie when Boosie was in his prime with Marlon Mike and Blink and all them, Gucci wouldn't be here no more. Gucci not meant for no real war. Gucci not meant for no. I'm telling you, if it would have been to knock Gucci down and them dudes would have kicked that door in, Gucci won't be here no more because he wasn't just ready when they kicked the door in. Nah. So yeah, man. By them just wanting the chain, gave him time to, you know, do what he had to do, and yeah, he came about that situation on top. But let you been beefing with a real warlord. A real warlord that, okay, when you delete Pookie, we coming back. You got to delete 5 more. This ain't over. It's gonna be back and forth. Gucci never would have had that career. He would have been in jail for another body, or he would have got hit up. If they would have been like, everybody around you gonna get hit. So we're gonna touch Walker. We're gonna touch Throwback. We're gonna touch any dude who stamping your brand, who want to get money with you. Yeah, we bring war all that. The Gucci never beefed with a real warlord like that. That really like, yeah, you took one of ours. Ain't no way it couldn't have been Boosie and them, and Gucci deleted Blink, and it would have been over with. Nah, Boosie would have kept sending them. You ain't gonna just delete one, and nah, it ain't over with. I can't say Gucci would have came out on top on that right there. You understand? So yeah, man. Gucci lucky that Jeezy just wanted the chain. You lucky because you beefing with a real warlord that if you get into it, it's about taking your life. If we want the chain, you know what I'm saying? It ain't about the chain. We don't need to brag with the chain. We're gonna brag about the hat. We don't care nothing about the chain. We're gonna brag about the hat. That's way more valuable to the rank, to the organization, to everything. So yeah, man. Maybe Pookie Loc will still be here if Pookie Loc had catching a hat on his mind more so, instead of just getting the chain and trying to go on the internet and rap. So yeah, that's my opinion. I feel like Gucci came out on top on that situation right there because Jeezy ain't no warlord like how Boosie was when Boosie was in his prime doing what he was doing. You understand? That's what I feel. So that's my take on the conversation right there, man. Y'all follow my other channel. He Was With Him. I may put this on He Was With Him. If not, I'm going to put it on the regular channel. Y'all share the video. Y'all follow me on IG, the_gang_spitter. Y'all donate to the channel. $the gang spitter. What's y'all thoughts on this, man?